The ending of Marshals episode 6 delivers one of the most emotional and defining moments of the entire season so far. After episodes filled with tension, investigation, and quiet grief, this chapter finally slows things down just enough to confront something deeper: loss, healing, and the painful process of moving forward. At the center of it all is Kayce Dutton, and for the first time in a long while, we see him begin to take a step toward closure. But it's not easy. And it's not clean, because the ending revolves around something that has been weighing on him since the beginning of the series: Monica's absence. And episode 6 makes it clear that grief doesn't just disappear. It lingers. It reshapes you. And sometimes, the only way forward is to face it head-on. The episode builds toward Monica's memorial, and from the very beginning, you can feel the emotional weight of what's coming. This isn't just a gathering. It's a moment of reckoning. For Kayce, it represents something he's been avoiding. A chance to say goodbye in a way he hasn't been able to until now. Throughout the episode, there are subtle signs that Kayce is struggling with the idea of attending. His silence, his hesitation, the way he avoids conversations about it. It all points to someone who isn't ready to confront the full reality of his loss. And that's what makes this moment so important. Because avoiding grief only delays it. Eventually, it catches up to you. And for Kayce, that moment arrives in episode 6. The memorial itself is handled with a quiet intensity. There's no over-the-top drama, no forced emotion. Instead, the scene leans into stillness, into reflection, into the kind of silence that says more than words ever could. As people gather to honor Monica, you can feel the different ways they're processing her loss. Some are open with their emotions, others are more reserved. But for Kayce, it's different. He's carrying something heavier. Not just grief, but guilt. And that's a crucial part of understanding his character in this episode. Because Kayce isn't just mourning Monica. He's questioning everything that led to this moment. The choices he made. The life they lived. The dangers that surrounded them. There's a part of him that feels responsible, whether that's rational or not. And that guilt has been holding him back. Keeping him stuck, preventing him from moving forward. That's why the memorial matters so much. It's not just about remembering Monica, it's about confronting everything Kayce has been avoiding. There's a powerful shift that happens during the ceremony. It's subtle, but it's there. You can see it in Kayce's expression, in the way he finally allows himself to be present in the moment instead of running from it. For the first time, he's not shutting down. He's feeling it. All of it. The pain, the loss, the memories. And that's where the healing begins. One of the most important aspects of the scene is how it connects Kayce to the people around him. Throughout the series, he's often been isolated, dealing with things on his own, keeping his emotions locked away. But the memorial changes that. It reminds him that he's not alone, that Monica's life, and her impact, extends beyond just him, and that shared grief becomes a source of strength. It doesn't erase the pain, but it makes it more bearable. There's also a sense that Monica's presence is still felt in this moment. Not in a literal way, but in the memories, in the stories, in the way people speak about her. The episode does a great job of showing that even though she's gone, she hasn't disappeared. She's still part of their lives. And that realization plays a big role in Kayce's journey. Because moving forward doesn't mean forgetting. It means carrying those memories in a different way. As the memorial comes to a close, there's a noticeable change in Kayce. It's not dramatic. It's not like everything is suddenly okay. But there's a shift, a release. Something that's been weighing on him is finally starting to lift. And that's what makes the ending so powerful. Because it's not about a complete transformation. It's about a single step toward healing. The final moments of the episode reinforce this idea beautifully. Kayce isn't the same man we've seen in previous episodes. He's still grieving, still processing, but there's a sense that he's no longer stuck in the same place. He's moving, slowly but surely. And that movement is what the entire episode has been building toward. But the ending isn't just about Kayce's emotional journey. It also sets the stage for what comes next in the series. Because while he may be starting to move forward, the world around him hasn't become any less complicated. There are still threats, still unresolved conflicts, still challenges that will test him in ways we haven't seen yet. The difference now is that Kayce is in a different place mentally. He's no longer paralyzed by his grief. And that changes everything. Because a Kayce who is beginning to heal is also a Kayce who can act, who can make decisions, who can engage with the world again instead of withdrawing from it. And that has major implications for the rest of the season. Another important layer of the ending is how it ties into the broader themes of the show. Marshals has always been about more than just law enforcement or action. It's about identity, responsibility, and the emotional cost of the lives these characters lead. Episode 6 leans heavily into that. It shows us that strength isn't just about physical capability or toughness. It's about vulnerability, about facing what hurts instead of avoiding it. And Kayce's journey in this episode is a perfect example of that. He doesn't become stronger by pushing his emotions away. He becomes stronger by confronting them, by allowing himself to feel, by accepting that loss is a part of life, even when it's unfair, even when it doesn't make sense. And that's what makes the ending resonate. It's real. It's human. It's something that anyone who has experienced loss can understand. At the same time, the episode doesn't pretend that everything is resolved. Healing is a process, not a single moment. And while the memorial is a significant step, it's just the beginning. Kayce still has a long road ahead. There will be setbacks. There will be moments where the grief comes back just as strong as before. But now, he has something he didn't have at the start of the episode. A way forward. And that's what makes this ending so important for his character. Because for the first time, it feels like he's not just surviving. He's starting to live again. And as the series continues, that shift is going to play a major role in how he handles everything that comes next. Because a man who has faced his grief and come out the other side, even if only partially, is a man who is ready to confront whatever challenges lie ahead. And if episode 6 has shown us anything, it's that those challenges are far from over. But now, Kayce is ready to face them. Not as someone trapped in the past, but as someone who is finally beginning to move forward. The death of Monica has been a looming presence throughout Marshall's events thus far. Losing his wife was what forced Kayce to pivot from living a quiet life at East Camp to joining the U.S. Marshals and embarking on another dangerous job. The CBS series hasn't really devoted one whole outing to tackling what happened to Tate's mother, instead revealing bits and pieces about her fate every week. Marshals episode 7 marks the first year-death anniversary of Monica. Out of the Shadows simultaneously continues the Marshals' hunt for the missing girls, which was previously set up in the previous week. Kayce finds himself at the center of friction with several people, including Tate, after his controversial decision on how to handle the case. In the end, the team secures the abducted girls in time for him to attend Monica's memorial. The occasion also gives him the courage to part ways with his late wife's necklace, something that he has been holding on to since her death.